series is back. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in, and welcome to the Season 8 premiere of Chicago Bears Weekly. A weekly episode thing I will be doing on this channel for the forthcoming weeks, and that episode will be dropped on Monday. I used to do them on Sundays, but I am moving the day to Monday, so every episode will be dropping every Monday unless foreseen things happen, of course. But welcome back to the series of Chicago Bears Weekly, and let's just face it, we knew what the talk was going to be all season. The Justin Fields versus the Caleb Williams debate. Now, I might have said where I stand now, but in this video, I'm going to break down the pros and cons of each side of the argument of either drafting Caleb Williams or keeping Justin Fields. And you guys let me know in the comment section down below, where do you guys actually stand on this debate? I would love to see what you guys think. It's time for me to give my take, and I won't be talking about this after today. After this video, I don't want to talk about this anymore until something actually happens, because honestly, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the debate. So this video right here will be my stance, my thoughts, my everything. So this possibly could be a long video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And let's dive into it. Now, this part is going to be the argument for Caleb Williams. The Bears historically have been an organization that really doesn't like to spend money. I'll just say this from first-hand experience, having my father, God rest his soul, who was a former employee of the Bears. This organization has just been absolutely cheap, to be honest, throughout the course of their history. This, with drafting Caleb Williams, will, number one, reset the quarterback market as far as having to pay a quarterback for another 4 years. At this point, Justin Fields is going into year 4, and he's due for contract extension at some point soon. So if they go with the decision to draft Caleb Williams, I think that they will reset that market for their quarterback position, which gives them more time to get other things, other positions, whether it be more wide receiver help next to DJ Moore, whether you can get maybe another tight end to go alongside Kmet, some defensive help. You can get some running back help, and you're still having that quarterback and a Caleb Williams in this case that is on a rookie contract. The drafting of Caleb Williams in this situation will help. And also, the Bears' history, we all can go back to that 2017 offseason, which I did a video about that and the whole Mitchell Trubisky and that offseason thing. I will leave that in the cards, and I will also leave a link to that video in the description below. You can kind of revitalize yourselves and resave yourselves, because at the end of the day, the Bears, we all talk about it and it's all been talked about. The Bears missed on Patrick Mahomes in order to take Mitchell Trubisky in that fame for Bear fans 2017 NFL draft. And the Bears traded up from 3 to 2 to select Mitchell Trubisky. As an organization, they see a prospect in Caleb Williams who is in some ways compared to one Patrick Mahomes. It could be an organizational move that they could say, well, we don't want to redo this again. We don't want to miss out on that generational type prospect at this point. Even though Patrick Mahomes in that 2017 draft, we didn't see this coming. We'll just be honest, we didn't see this coming. But even from 2018, which is his first actual season as a starter on, he has practically been the best quarterback in the NFL over that period, with 2 MVPs, 3 Super Bowl championships, and 3 Super Bowl MVP. The Bears, as an organization and up top, even though there's just different people running the organization versus Ryan Poles right now and Ryan Pace back in the draft where that actually happened. And it can kind of make up for missing out on Mahomes to get Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is a very talented quarterback. I've seen him play. He can do some things, and I think he's going to be a very good quarterback in this league. And the Bears are thinking that we could possibly have that on our roster and still don't have to pay a top-notch dollar for a quarterback yet. And also Caleb Williams, he does some things differently than Justin Fields. If you bring in a guy like Caleb Williams to this offense, get him with Shane Waldron, you get him with some wide receiver help, which I'm assuming they're going to address in either this draft or in free agency. You can get them some defensive help, maybe get some help on the offensive line as well. Spend more money on some of the resources to help Caleb Williams get better, and you still don't have to pay that top-notch dollar for Caleb Williams, and he can come in and potentially change your franchise for years to come as a Chicago Bears quarterback. Today's video is brought to you by Cellular C4. This is a product that I personally used before I even decided to partner with them, and the first thing I got introduced to was the energy drinks by C4. This right here is a fruit punch flavor. They have many other flavors. They have popsicle flavors that just dropped. They have Skittles, Starburst, all the type of flavors that you want. To help you get started with your day, you can wake up in the morning before you start your day and drink you one of those. And also before you get that workout in, when it's workout day, you can take you some pre-workout to help you get the boost in your workout. All the products, 0 sugar, low calories. This is a great product to take you in your workouts and your journey on fitness to the next level. And I am happy to partner with a product that I was already using in my own personal life. And I will leave my code in the description below to save you guys 20% on your first purchase of C4 of their workouts. They even have muscle recovery to help boost after workouts. They have so many supplements and things to help you on your fitness journey, and you can get yours today in the description below. Click the link and use my code APW Sports to help you save 20%. And again, the links are in the description below, and use the code APW Sports to save you 20% on your purchase. Now, it is time to get back into the video. Here's my argument for the Bears keeping Justin Fields. Justin Fields has shown himself over the last couple of weeks of this 2023 season that he could be the quarterback of the Bears' future. The pros of keeping Justin Fields obviously is not for the money reasons. They're probably going to have to pay him at some point, but you get to keep some continuity in the locker room as far as you seeing guys come out publicly supporting him, whether it will be Jaylon Johnson, whether it will be a guy like a DJ Moore who had one of his best seasons with Justin Fields throwing him the football. You've seen some of the guys in this locker room come out in support of Justin Fields. Keeping Justin Fields will let you get things in other positions where you can leave help, and you don't have to change or waste or spend any of your capital, draft capital, or all-season money on the quarterback position. The Bears are in a position now where they can do that. And that number 1 overall pick is not because the Bears earned it, and it's not because the Bears were bad. It's from Carolina. The Bears themselves have the 9th overall pick. The Bears went 4-3 in the last couple of games with a couple of changes and capitalizing and closing against the Detroit Lions and closing against the Cleveland Browns. The Bears could have possibly been a playoff team if they were able to close those games and close the game earlier in the season against Denver. The Bears could possibly be a playoff team, and this could be a totally different conversation. And it was not all on Justin Fields as to the reason that the Bears ended up losing those ball games. You keep some continuity with your franchise, you keep some continuity with your players, with your roster intact, and keeping Justin Fields, letting him continue to get better, and you pair him with a coach like Shane Waldron that honestly, he got a guy like a Geno Smith to have a much improved time in Seattle with Shane Waldron tutelage. I think if you were able to keep Justin Fields and you keep him, you could possibly take Justin Fields' play as it is now, and with Shane Waldron, you could take that to another level. and you can use your draft capital to develop your roster in other positions outside of quarterback because you already have yours in play. You could possibly get some offensive line help, get some defensive line help in your interior, possibly get another pass rusher, another receiver to go outside of it. There's a lot of things to do if you were able to keep Justin Fields and you made that decision now. You can kind of make your roster changes and make your roster adjustments as needed, knowing that your quarterback position is going to be locked up with a guy who has been getting better and better year after year with Justin Fields with the Chicago Bears. And my stance on this is that, obviously, if you guys know, I have an Ohio State bias. I'm a little bit biased to Ohio State. I'm not going to lie to you guys, as Justin Fields was the quarterback from Ohio State from 2019 and 20, and the Bears moved up in 2021 draft to get him. My stance is that you keep Justin Fields, and I have a lot of reasons why. Number one, and I'm probably not going to get them in order, but I think you keep Justin Fields and you continue to build this roster going forward. This Bears team coming into 2023, let's be honest, we weren't expecting them to be a playoff team. We were not expecting the Chicago Bears in 2023 to be a playoff team or make the playoffs. They were close. They had games where they could have been a playoff team. But even myself, I picked the Bears at the start of the year to be a 7-win football team. Yes, my final predictions for the Bears is that they go 7-10 in 2023. And that's exactly where they were. 7 wins from what we looked like in 2022 and the improvements that we made on both sides of the football. I think you continue to build on that and build with Justin Fields. Get him some more wide receiver pieces. DJ Moore was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. What an excellent trade that Ryan Poles was able to pull off. On top of Ryan Poles' decision, I think the decision to keep Matt Eberflus as head coach should be more towards keeping Justin Fields, and here's why. And I also covered that in that 2017 video of Mitchell Trubisky, why he failed. You inch yourself into repeating that all over again. You get a quarterback, you number one, at this position, if you draft Caleb Williams, he kind of becomes in a lame duck situation, similar to what Justin Fields was actually drafted into in 2021 with Matt Nagy basically with his job on the line the entire season, Ryan Pace with his job on the line the entire season, and it was not structurally built as an organization to develop a quarterback. And we could go back to 2017 when you had John Fox. Basically, his job was on the line. The organization as a whole needed to win at this point for John Fox to keep his job. So we're talking about repeating history for a third time with the Bears. They could draft Caleb Williams, but Matt Eberflus, his job is basically on the line already, as some of the things that happened during the year with the Allen Williams thing that may not be on him. Some of the decisions that they made to ultimately lose those games and come back. You're in a lame duck situation because at the end of the day, Caleb Williams is going to be pressured to start right away. Even though he could be that quarterback, he's going to be pressured to do things right away to help save, number one, a GM's job, and to help save, number two, a head coach's job. So by keeping Matt Eberflus, I think the best thing for the Bears to do is to keep Justin Fields and build around him so he won't repeat history. If, say, things go like the way things with Trubisky, you're going to be in this same position looking for a quarterback 3 to 4 years later if things don't work out. And you're probably going to miss on an opportunity to get your team better, to get your team towards playoff contention in a consistent basis. And you're going to be back at ground zero or just the starting point all over again because you didn't want to miss on this generational talent, even though I will be honest with you guys about Caleb Williams. I think he could be a very good quarterback. I think he could be a very good player in this league. But once you start to give him expectations of, I think, one of the most, if not the most talented quarterback that we've seen ever in Patrick Mahomes, once you start to give him those expectations, thing is, it might not be that. You're only setting a bar too high on a prospect coming in because he doesn't live up to those expectations. The Bears as an organization are going to go another direction. Even if he's just an average and a good quarterback, oh, we drafted the number one. He ain't living up to those Patrick Mahomes expectations. It is time to move somewhere else. So I think the expectations of a Patrick Mahomes coming in to this Bears organization, if they draft Caleb Williams with those expectations, could be a downfall. Because to be honest, we know as the Chicago Bears organization, they have not been good in developing quarterback. McMahon was one, even though he had a bunch of injury history. You had Jay Cutler, who I think was very talented, but his own makeup, in my opinion, was part of the reason why his time failed in Chicago, and I also made a video about that as well. Mitchell Trubisky, his time in Chicago was, I think, due to a lot of things that included his own play, which is, I think, some bad coaching from Matt Nagy, especially in 19 and 20 when he changed the offense. And Justin Fields had to deal with the Matt Nagy situation his rookie year, and then he goes to a totally different offense at Lugetti, which we seen that didn't work his next 2 years. Yeah, you get some coaching changes that have Justin Fields going into another offense, but you keep some continuity within this football team with guys who were brought in to win in Tremaine Edmunds. You got TJ Edwards. You draft well with Tyree Stevenson, Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon. You have Jaylon Johnson. Now it's interesting to see what that's going to happen. You have a very good trade in Montez Sweat, a very good trade in DJ Moore. You're building this roster to win now. You have a very good, I think he's going to be a very good right tackle, and a guy like Darnell Wright. So I think you continue to build on that. You build more, you get some continuity on this roster, you get some continuity within your coaching staff. Even though it's a new offensive staff, you got a lot of guys who work well with each other, hired in to work with the new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. And you have a new defense coordinator, Eric Washington. A lot of those things are new. But one thing you can keep together is this roster who, number one, they fight for each other. Number two, they play very well. I'm not going to say very well, but you can tell they play as a unit. They fight for each other, and that is something that you don't want to break up in your locker room. Giving a guy Justin Fields, who the team, you can tell they have Justin Fields' back. I think you continue to let him develop, and I think a better offensive system with Shane Waldron. I think you're going to see more improvement in his passing game that we've seen him do with Geno Smith in Seattle. And I think you're going to get some pieces on this offense. You can trade back. You can get more draft assets to help add to this football team, which we've seen. Ryan Poles has done a very good job of drafting for this Chicago Bears roster. And I think you can do it again in 2024 draft class that has a lot of talent at the wide receiver position, which they can use another body at. They have some good corners in this draft. They have some really good offensive linemen in this draft, some defensive linemen in this draft. I think you spread out some of that draft capital to build your roster instead of starting things over. And now you're going to develop another quarterback under a coach that's a lame duck. But my opinion is you keep Justin Fields, and that's not just my Ohio State bias talking. That's my football talking. You keep Justin Fields as the Chicago Bears quarterback. You continue to build this roster, this team, not only in 2024, but for years to come, to build around Fields. And you go from there. You let the pieces fall where they may. Whether it works or not, you take that chance and you have that quarterback now. You get more draft assets. You trade from number one, possibly back to number two. If the Commanders are waiting there, you can trade to number three. If the Patriots decide to move up and take a quarterback, you are going to get a haul, especially if you're talking about the Patrick Mahomes comparisons. You're going to get a haul for that number one overall pick, and you can use all that draft capital to maybe make different moves inside of this 2024 draft. You can use that draft capital to make different moves and trades and get other pieces to get and fit this Chicago Bears roster and fit what they are trying to do going into 2024. I think there are more pros than cons of keeping Justin Fields than there are from drafting Caleb Williams and basically starting from square one at this point when it comes to developing a quarterback. So at this point, you keep Justin Fields, and you continue to build. Now, contract is going to be looming, but just to say if Caleb Williams works, you're paying him more. You're going to be paying him more because at the end of the day, the NFL is only making more money and more money. So at the end of the day, you're probably going to be paying him more if the Caleb Williams thing actually works. He's going to be making more towards the salary cap than you would be paying Justin Fields. So at the end of the day, I personally believe you keep Justin Fields and you trade for the other picks and you trade that number 1 overall pick to help continue to build this roster. Either way it goes, you're going to be paying a quarterback at some point, or else you're going to do it again. You're going to be paying a quarterback at some point, whether it's Fields, whether it's Williams, or whether it's somebody else. You're going to have to pay money for a quarterback in this league. If you want an elite good quarterback and you want him to be consistent, you're going to have to pay at some point. Don't be cheap. Build around Fields, and if that doesn't work, then you could possibly get a quarterback in here at a later date. But I will take my chances, and the makeup of Justin Fields, the person he is, the player that he has become, the leader that he is for your football team, you keep him. But those are my thoughts. I might have been all over the place. But you leave your guys' opinions in the comments down below. I would love to see what you guys think. And that concludes this week's episode of Chicago Bears Weekly. I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next Sunday day. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.